Forbes India presents Top 30 Talent Leaders of 2023, powered by Indeed.
Hi all, Rambabu Srinivas here from Tata Technologies. I am the Senior Vice President and Global Head for Talent Acquisition and Workforce Management here. And I'm extremely passionate about um, people and training few in the Gen Z and the millennials. We are looking at about 70 to 80% of the workforce being millennials and Gen Z. So I am passionate about training, bringing up this new age kids into the workforce. So that's my main passion. More than inspiration, actually, I was pushed into this. Karthikeyan Natarajan, I credit this to him. He is currently the COO of Scient. I am basically an engineer doing designs, product designs, and I was doing delivery, managing large teams in my entire career, and then moved into sales and all through engineering services area in the last 27 years. But when the supply side was becoming a huge problem, and we had a lot of business, but supply side was a challenge. So Karthik asked me to take it up, and he was always insisting for the last 20 years that I should move into HR because of my people skills, which I ignored. But there came a time, sometime in 2015 2016, that supply side was becoming a huge problem. He asked me to pick it up, and I took it up. But after a year or so, I realized that this is in my DNA and my blood. I started loving it, and that's how I transitioned myself into the talent acquisition and talent management roles. I started my journey with HAL, Hindustan Aeronautics Limited, which is a, as you know, a defense aircraft design and manufacturing company in India. So I started my career there, spent about 4 years, and then moved on to Satyam Computers way back in '98. And then my first project was with GE, General Electric, designing GE appliances. And I spent the next 10 to 12 years with GE as my customer, designing various of their products, incubating and growing large delivery teams for GE. And when the Satyam issue happened and Techem took over, and then I was tasked to move to US and take care of the customer relationship. And then that's how I transitioned into the sales role and did the customer facing role for about 6 years, and then moved back to India because I did not want to settle down in US. Moved back to India. When I moved back to India, uh, Karthik said there was a lot of issues with the supply side, and we had huge problems on hiring the right kind of talent. The engineering business is not unlike other businesses. We cannot do keyword searches and get people. We need to understand the domain. We need to understand the projects. We need to understand the customer products, and then line up the talent according to the requirement. So that mandates the recruiters, the talent acquisition teams to understand the domain, to understand the technology, understand the customer products, and then they should be able to converse with the potential candidates and do it. So because of all this lacuna, we are struggling, and that's when I was asked to take it up, and then I I got into this talent acquisition role. So the biggest challenges, the last 2 to 3 years, which the industry is seeing, is each of the candidate has two or three offers in the market, and getting the right talent is becoming too costly or not available. So we need to devise new strategies to identify, locate the appropriate talents, and then, you know, attract them. So for that, multiple things we need to do. Your brand becomes paramount. People talk to each other. So you need to focus on building a strong brand, which is backed by your projects, the strong technology projects that you have you have executed, and then some of your SMEs, your practice teams, solution heads, they should be able to talk about it, build the brand in the market, so that you'll be able to attract talent. That is point number one. The point number two is, we are dealing with Gen Z and millennials, as I talked about earlier. So this particular generation is unlike, it's unlike the previous generation, right? They want everything quick, fast, and they cannot wait for 2 weeks, 1 month for an offer to be released. They want to have an interview today and offer in hand tomorrow. And they ask, they are well informed. They ask multiple questions, a lot of questions about the company, about the projects, about technologies, and they ask a lot of questions about the roadmap. So we should be well equipped in with all those informations when we interact with them. So these are all the things which becomes very important. And because of the technology, the way things are coming up, even the talent acquisition teams have to be abreast with the latest technologies. If not, we will not be able to converse with uh, the potential candidates. So for example, GPT, the latest ones, how do we leverage that? How do we use that to understand uh, the thought process of the Gen Zs, right? So these are all things which are going to be paramount as we go forward into 2023 and 24. See, technology is becoming paramount. The age-old system of writing offer letters, printing offer letters is all gone. The Gen Z is all about mobile. Most of their time they spend on their mobile. So we need to upgrade ourselves in terms of technologies, right from identifying the talent, engaging with the talent, processing their offer letters, onboarding them. Everything, it has to be through latest technologies. So that is one of the reason why we have gone ahead with the latest ATS system. And when we do a drive, large drive, for example, we did a drive about 6 months back when we got about 6,000 profiles. We didn't know what to do. So we used a AI bot to sort out the profiles. And then that bot was able to help us sort the profiles. From about 6,000 profiles, it came down to about 800 profiles. So which was bit humanly possible for us to sort the profiles. And from there we were able to interview about 300 of them. So that's one way of we started using technology. So technology becomes extremely important in engaging these particular generations, and we have to be up to speed on these latest technologies. So I joined Tata Technologies about 15 months back. So when I joined, there was a huge, talent war in the market, a lot of attritions going on. And so we had, on one side we had talent crunch, on the other side we had huge business opportunities. So one thing was, the point number one, I started engaging with my marketing team. We have a great marketing team. They started helping me to build the brand. So we were on Twitter, we were on Instagram, we were on LinkedIn, talking about all the projects that we do. So we started creating a platform where we call it as lateral connects, where we created a platform where the candidates whom we have offered, they can come onto the platform, interact with my SMEs, my practice team, my delivery heads, talk about the company's roadmap in that particular technology area for next 1 to 2 years, talk about their career growth options and opportunities in our company, and so that is a platform for them to have a free will discussions with my experts, so that people who are sitting on not able to decide where to go, probably they started leaning out towards Tata Technologies, right? And people who were actually uh, going there just looking out for a couple of lakhs, they started realizing that they have a much better potential in terms of their career in Tata Technologies rather than in the other companies. And then they're okay for 1 or 2 lakhs less. We are able to attract them. So with that, our 80 to 85% dropouts came down to about 40%. So some of these things I put in motion, and I think that gave a excellent results. Not have been the talent leader, probably I would have been, I would love to design products. I would have been part of a team which designs products. With all the technologies that is coming up, new age technologies which is coming up and all that, Gen Z and all that, as long as the human beings are there and we are dealing with human beings, okay, human resource is a great career path for anyone. People who like to interact with people, people who like to uh, work with people and get satisfaction in seeing people growing in their careers, I think those are the people actually they should get into human resources, right? So once they get into this, they cannot get away from the technologies. They need to learn the latest technologies. They should be able to converse with the new age generation in the technologies they understand. We need to see how we can engage people virtually, make them well connected, how we can how we can ensure that their work life balance is taken care and all these things. So the technology becomes part and parcel of the human resources. So once you get into human resources, you need to understand technology, you need to understand people. Your people skills has to be honed. The next journey for me is to take up a role of a transformation office. Transformation office is something which looks from all the 360-degree view of the company and sets the initiatives so that company is ready for the growth for the next 2 to 3 years. So I would say that the next um, obvious growth for me will be the transformation.
Forbes India presents Top 30 Talent Leaders of 2023, powered by Indeed.